Well, hey everybody, Travels with Dottie here, and I really wasn't sure what the heck I was going to do for a video today because other than a couple of work sessions this morning, I had nothing that I was going to do. I tweaked my back a little bit sleeping, so that's been pretty sore, but then Cheryl saved me by saying, hey, why don't we all go to Silly Al's Pizza this afternoon? We haven't been out for a long time, at least a week. So I was quick to say, yeah, I'll go to Silly Al's. So just about, I think a few of us, a small handful of us will be there. Not everybody wanted to go. Silly Al's is kind of a pretty loud environment. And this time I remembered to wear my Apple earpods that are the pros that are set up for hearing impairment and noise blocking. And I've been wanting I've had them for 2 months, and every time I go to a noisy environment, I forget to bring them. So I didn't forget this time. So I will let you know how the ears do. I don't think I'm going to do a lot of filming in Silly Al's because we have people that don't want to be filmed. So I have to be very respectful of that. Pardon me. So what's the date today? Today's the 8th of February. I almost said January 2025. And I've had at least 3 questions in the comments about, and don't worry, when we get away from the LTVA and on the road, I will switch the camera around so you can see the road. And the question has been, where are you going to go after Quartzsite? What are your plans? There's the road. So, definitely the only definite plan I have is from June 1st till maybe September 30th, maybe a little earlier, depends on the weather. I'm going to be in Eagle Nest, New Mexico. For me, it's sort of an RV park. What does that mean? It means I'm going to be at an RV park on the lake, but I have a special arrangement where I kind of boondock next to the RV park, kind of on my own in an open field. The owner is kind enough to run me a 30 amp extension, so I have some electricity. So I can actually, if it gets really hot, I can run my AC if I really need to. But I'm probably going to use solar generated power for most of my power needs because while she's running that line out, I am going to be paying for the electricity. So, and my friends Charlie and Diane will be there in the RV park during that entire time. I have friends that will be traveling around in New Mexico in the summer. And it's a great place to go in the heat of the summer because Eagle Nest is at 9,000 feet. It's on a mountain lake. Where I'm camped is 360 degrees. I am surrounded by mountains. It's just green and lush and beautiful. And there are lots of things to do in the surrounding communities. There's the little town of Eagle Nest. There's Angel Fire, there's Red River, there's Cimarron, and a little under an hour away is Taos, New Mexico, which is a pretty interesting place. But quite frankly, I haven't spent enough time in Taos. And maybe I'll spend a little bit more time there this summer. So, what am I going to do between now and then? Well, obviously, I'm not going to stay in the Quartzsite right up until the beginning of June. That would be crazy because it gets super hot certainly during May and probably during a big part of April. So where am I going to be? Well, I don't know yet. I'm going to know more maybe in the next couple of weeks because those of you that have been following me I'm trying to get hip replacement surgery done this spring. And I have the meeting with the surgeon this Thursday. And hopefully they'll be able to tell me, if not a definite surgical date, a approximate surgical date. And I'll get information on what kind of environment I need to be in to recover and for how long. So I do have the option. People have asked, well, who's going to take care of your pets? Don't worry about my pets. I've got friends here that will take care of Dottie and George. I have a friend that if I need to, I can stay in a single level home, beautiful home up in Lake Havasu for my recovery. But it's as I'm doing more and more research about this minimally invasive hip surgery, I may be able to just stay in where I am right now in my trailer. But we'll see what the doctor says on Thursday, and that'll determine when I go. And when I go, I'll be heading towards Eagle Nest, but I don't want to get there really much before June 1st because it's May. It's probably pretty cold up there. They might even have some snow up there in May. Who knows? So I'll want to be in lower elevations. I would like to look at a Escapees co-op park called I forgot what it's called, something Roost, outside of Phoenix. Well, it's between Phoenix and Tucson. I'd really like to take a look at that and see if I might want to get on the list there for a lot. Something Roost. I want to say Rooter's Roost, but that's not it. Rounder's Roost, that's not it. Somebody in the comments will look it up and correct me. But it seems like a pretty nice, it's about an hour from Phoenix, an hour from Tucson. Locally there are all kinds of really good services. Like there's a Walmart and Home Depot and everything. It's very convenient. The only drawback that I hear about this place is right on the edge of the desert, so it's remote and quiet, but it's near some sort of cattle farm. And they say when the wind and the barometric pressure and everything is just right, you smell the manure pretty strongly every couple of weeks for a few days. And that turns some people off. I don't think it's going to be enough to turn me off, though. I think I could tolerate that for a few days every couple of weeks. I'm pretty easy with that kind of stuff. And we have arrived at Silly Al's. You'll see it as I make the turn here. And here it is. Looks like we have room in the parking lot because it's not peak season. Room in the parking lot. It's always nice. And I'm thinking I'm the first one here because I don't see Cheryl's blue truck. I do not see Cheryl's blue truck. So I've got some time here to kill. Dottie is not with me. I thought it would be, it's 1:30 and it's already showing 77 degrees outside. I could leave this running and leave her in the car, but she seemed pretty comfortable there, snoozing on the bed, and she'll be okay. And I won't be that long. One of the reasons I love going to Silly Al's, I'll order a whole pizza for myself. Will I eat a whole pizza? No, I'll eat. If I'm really hungry, I might eat 3 pieces, probably 2, and the rest come home and I have several meals. So what seems expensive on the surface, when you break it down over several meals, it's economical. And I just saw in my rearview mirror Cheryl creeping in her her blue truck, and she's parking right next to me. Dad, do you see it? You see it? You see it? That's Cheryl. That's Pup Camper 58. Go and subscribe to her channel, because I always get a kick out of it. She goes, "What is going on? I got like 20 more subscribers. How is that happening?" Because you guys are doing it. All right, I will see you inside. And here we are. This is what Silly L's looks like. Actually, surprisingly, it's pretty busy, even though it's an off-season Saturday afternoon. But there are plenty of open tables here. And this is the entrance. With there's a little ATM there if you forgot to bring cash and want to pay cash, but they do take credit cards. And here's some awards they've gotten for their pizza, it looks like. And you can see there's a full bar. There you go, back there. So there's a little nightlife happening here. So I will get back to you when they deliver the pizza, and I'll show what everybody got. Meat Lovers Pizza's here. We got another smaller one here.
It's hot, Cheryl. Yeah, it's hot. Okay. Can you pick it up? Yeah.
Barb has already grabbed her slices.
What did you end up getting?
And Cheryl, you don't want to get between Cheryl and a pizza.
That's right. You know that's a
Pup Camper 58. Subscribe to her channel and freak her out with the number of subscribers. Well, that was really good. And I got my 2 slices, and Barb's waiting for me to get my butt out of here so she can get in. Sorry about that. And can I see my rear view camera? Yes, I can. So then I've got a whole huge, probably 3, if not 4 meals worth of pizza. And I tell you, reheating pizza, either the air fryer or just the cast iron skillet on the stove works really good to reheat this pizza. It tastes as good as it does when it's fresh. So I'm happy about that. I need tortillas, and I need sliced bread. And there was one other thing I needed. I'm going to have to think pretty hard, because we're going to come up on, we'll see, we're going to come up on, Coyote Fresh Market pretty soon here. And you don't know, I could go to Roadrunner. Why don't I go to Roadrunner? I don't go to Roadrunner enough. Because I don't need dog food, and I don't need seafood salad. So those are the 2 reasons I would go to Coyote Fresh. But we'll go right down here to the Roadrunner Market and get my 3 things, 2 of which I remember, a 3rd of which I can't remember. Hopefully I'll remember when I walk in. But I'm pretty sure definitely tortillas, bread, and I wish I could remember the 3rd thing. We'll see when we get in there. Maybe I'll get a trigger to remember. Why that guy beeps at me, I have no idea. I guess he didn't like it that I was in the turn lane. Oh well. I'm allowed to do that. Okay, we have arrived, and when I come back, I'll tell you what I forgot, or I'll tell you I couldn't remember. All right. Let's turn it around, and I will explain. I did remember I was short on American cheese, so I got American cheese. And while I was at it, I got a spare thing of the butter I use. I didn't necessarily need that, but I always like one in reserve. We got that. We're headed back, and we'll see what the rest of the trip brings us here. Let's turn around and back out of here. I just love my new radio head with the giant screen. Especially when I'm backing up, I can actually see without squinting. And it's, especially with RVs and things, it's a real blessing to have a good view of your rear end. And here we are. And look, doesn't look very busy for almost 2:48 on a Saturday. Not busy at all. It was really easy and Coyote Fresh. So we're definitely off that high season. Here we go. We got a left there. We got a green arrow going left. So Silly Al's was a bit noisy, but I think I mentioned I brought my my Apple EarPods, put it on hearing assist mode, and it did pretty well. I could hear the conversation, and the background noise was very muted. So I would say it's successful for noisy environments, as I hoped it would be. And it is getting warm. It says it's 84 degrees. I think that's a bit of an exaggeration. And it was really warm in here because I had both vents closed. Because I was getting too cold yesterday, I closed them and Dottie was in the sun over next to me, so I was increasing the flow on Dottie, but no Dottie today. But I'm going by the Rice Ranch RV Park, which was finally packed during the Big Tent Week. Now it's an empty, pretty empty parking lot again. Here we are passing the first two LTVAs, north on the left, west on the right. And of course, the last two up here will be Raposa Tyson Wash on the right, in my home, Raposa South on the left. It's pretty hazy out there. Still good, not ideal solar. Ideal solar is no clouds, bright blue sky. That's optimal solar. Any cloud at all reduces it, but it's still probably a pretty good day. I checked remotely and I was at 100% at 2 o'clock, so my batteries are charged. Hopefully we'll get into maybe the absorption mode. And so, little lesson on lithium batteries. There's stages of charging. The first stage and the most lengthy one, and the one you see the most, is called bulk charging. And it's when your batteries are below 100%, and you're replenishing them with solar, and it'll get up to 100%, and then it'll keep sending a pretty big charge into there until it gets to a particular voltage, and that voltage is usually set in your charge controller where it changes the way it charges to what's called absorption mode. And absorption mode, what it does is even though you have a lithium battery that's like the size of your car battery, let's say, if you were to take it apart, it would actually be multiple batteries that they call cells. And one of the things that can lead to inefficiencies in your batteries is if the cells get out of balance at all. And the absorption mode of charging seeks to balance the cells. And so you set what voltage you want absorption to start and the duration. And what I've read up on, it's a combination of the voltage and the amount of time, depends on how much in battery bank you have. And I think mine's set for actually a couple of hours when it gets there. And it doesn't get there very often. Then the last stage is called float. That's when absorption is done and it sort of sends in a trickle of electricity, very low amount of current in, just to keep things topped off. That's float. And what we're seeing ahead of us here is the Blue Boy dump station. That's where if you have a tote, like me, where you either tow the tote or, like in my case, I put the tote in the bed of my truck and I drive my wastewater over here. You can empty it there, and there's not usually much of any kind of line to get in there, even during the busy time of year. Or you can take your tote. Like when it's not busy, I'll take my tote to the regular dump station because they have some pressurized water you can rinse stuff out with. So I'll do that. And those of you curious about, you hear people talking about washes. Well, what's a wash? A wash is basically a dried up creek bed that usually out in the desert only runs water when there's runoff from the mountains or a rainstorm. And we're about to go through one right now. And the hallmark are vegetation, a dip and a vegetation. We got both right here. We got a tree on the right, tree on the left. We got a dip. This is a wash. And it's not the only one we're going to go through to get back to camp. We'll go through one more. Basically, out here, anywhere you see vegetation marks a wash or a dried up creek bed. You certainly don't want to be driving through a wash or camping in a wash, God forbid, if waters come. It can get very nasty very quickly. Also, you don't want to camp near there because that's where all the critters, mice and all the critters that live in the desert generally are in where the washes and vegetation are. So here is another wash. It's a pretty shallow one, but you see the ingredients here. You're going to see a tree on your left and a little bit of a dip here. And then in front of us, there is a very big one, and we'll show you what that looks like going through the very big one. I'm actually going to lock my differential because it doesn't show so much on the screen, but going up the other side of this, it's a fairly steep grade. If I don't lock my differential, I'll slip. The wheels will slip. So we made it, and here I am. And I'm here to thank you for watching my video today. Sorry, it's going to end up being published pretty late without much fancy editing because, heck, it's almost 3 o'clock. So I got to download this thing, upload it to YouTube, figure out a title and a thumbnail, and get this going out to you, and I'll do it. I'll start transferring the files as soon as I park this old truck behind my rig here. And we have arrived. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it when you watch my videos. I'm very grateful. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow.